What's up guys, welcome back again to your Heroclix headquarters. Today we're going to talk about how to use the new recruiter mechanic found in the new Avengers Fantastic Four Empire set. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so first of all, we need to take a look at what the recruiter mechanic is. So right here I've got Agent May, and she's just an uncommon figure, so it's pretty likely you'll get one or two of her. So we'll take a look at what her recruiter mechanic says. So it's the trait here that says Recruiter Shield. And it says power, choose a character with the shield keyword in your KO area that hasn't been chosen for or generated by a recruiter effect. If you do, generate a character with the shield keyword from your sideline that has a lower point value than the chosen character. This game, the generated character can't be replaced, and your opponent scores them immediately instead of when it's KO'd. Alright, so that's pretty wordy, but it's pretty simple once you get right down to it. So basically what that means is if we have our little shield team right here, if somebody was to come up and just, KO our Ghost Rider in one shot or something, he goes to our KO area off the map. And then when it comes to our turn, you can give Agent May a power action to then choose a friendly character with the shield keyword in our KO area, like Ghost Rider here, to then choose somebody from our sideline with the shield keyword and a lower point value. So in this case, we'll use Braun, who is 75 points. Ghost Rider was 80. And so as long as he's lower point value than the KO'd character, you're good. They can't be the same point value, they have to be lower. So it could be anybody that's less than 80 points in, Ghost Rider's case here. But then you're going to take that character from your sideline and generate them adjacent to her, because she was the one using the power to generate them. Anytime a power or effect says to generate a character, unless it specifically says otherwise, it will mean into any adjacent square to the character using that power. So you could place Braun here, anywhere you want adjacent to her. Now it's important to note that as soon as he comes in the game, your opponent will score him immediately. So that's a whopping 75 points that they can score right away. So you do have to be careful about that. You don't want to overdo it and give your opponent like your entire team's worth of points right away, because if they did just score 80 points for Ghost Rider and they immediately score 75 for Braun, then they've already got quite a few points just for using that. But if, say, on your next turn they came up and KO'd your Iron Man, who's also 75 points, then you could, on your next turn, give her another power action to choose a character from your KO area. You can't choose Ghost Rider because you've already chosen him, but you could choose Iron Man because he's somebody you haven't chosen in your KO area. And you could bring in any other character with the shield keyword that's less points. So in this case, we might want to choose somebody like Dazzler. She's only 35 points. Your opponent will again score her immediately, so that's another 35 points. But just the fact that we can keep bringing in new characters is really cool. And I think it's a really fun mechanic. I personally wouldn't want to use it more than, a couple times per game, just because you're giving your opponent so many points so quickly. Especially later on in the game, you're going to want to use it like as soon as you take your first couple of losses. That way you have more time to actually, hopefully have them be able to do something to actually help you out. And, if you use it in the last couple of turns, then your opponent is just going to be getting free points right at the last minute, and that's not going to help you out in the long run. But it's also important to note here that if, say, Braun was KO'd, you could not then use the recruiter ability to select Braun because he was generated by a recruiter effect. So you can't pick somebody that was already chosen, and you can't pick somebody that was generated by the recruiter effect. So you can't just continuously generate characters forever. You basically can generate as many characters as you have characters on your team and as you have characters on your sideline. As long as you have enough characters on your team that get KO'd and you haven't chosen, that one yet, and you have enough characters on your sideline to bring in, you could continuously just keep using it. But you would actually still be giving your opponent points every time you do. So I would caution against that, because if you do happen to give your opponent over 100 points of the build total, so normal games are 300 points. If you were to give your opponent 400 points, even if you have plenty of characters left on the board, you will still lose because it's kind of like a mercy rule. And once your opponent scores over 100 points extra over the build total, then they just automatically win no matter what. So you do have to be careful about that. But like I said, I do think this is a fun game mechanic, And, you know, you could use it very well, I think, if you had the right characters on your sideline, on the right kind of team. You could put somebody like this Kitty Pryde on your sideline for this. And if you happen to be going against a lot of characters with like armor and robot keywords, she has this really cool power where she can just move through them and like give them action tokens or something like that. So you could have her on the sideline specifically for a scenario like that, and as well as a few other pieces that are really good in certain situations but not so good in others. You could just have them on the sideline so that when one of your other characters gets KO'd, you could bring them in and they could be of more use to you. So I think it has kind of that give and take that I think it'll be very interesting, and I can't wait to try it out a few more times. Now, before we wrap it up, I will note really quickly that not all the recruiter effects are for S.H.I.E.L.D. It's not S.H.I.E.L.D. specific. I'm just using that as an example because she's just, you know, the easiest one to get. Now, the rare Black Panther in this set does it for Wakanda, and we have seen that there will be a Thor in the next set coming out soon, War of the Realms. And that Thor can use the recruiter effect for Asgardian characters as well. So I'm sure there'll be more going forward. I'm sure we'll see some for Fantastic Four, Avengers, X-Men, all the big ones, you know. Maybe we'll even get ones for like Justice League, Batman Family, that kind of stuff in a future DC set. Who knows? We'll see. Alright, so that's going to do it for this one. If you guys found this video educational or helpful at all, make sure you smash that like button. It does help me out. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any further questions about it, or if there's any other things you'd like me to make a how-to video about, because I would like to know that so I can help you guys out. And don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. And if you guys would like to help support the channel anymore, make sure you check the links in the description for our Patreon so you can see your name here in the credits, as well as some other awesome stuff, so make sure you check that out. But thanks again so much for watching, and until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.